Greetings and salutations, Tube Dwellers. I am your host, the Mad Bag, and we return to Starcraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. Oh my god, don't look at these numbers. Oh, the numbers are nasty. Don't look at them. We're going to cast a replay today, a 1 versus 1 that I played recently against Cicero. Oh, listener. Oh. He is a Protoss player, so we got a ZVP on our hands. On the map, Star Station, Diamond on Diamond. Top left corner, we're going to have your gracious host, the Mad Bag. And on the opposite side of the map, in the bottom right corner, the Dark Brotherhood Keeper himself, Cicero. So as you all know, ZVP, Zerg vs. Protoss, probably my least favorite matchup. I don't know, Terran vs. Terran, but I don't play Terran, so that one's kind of out of the consideration. Of the matchups that I play regularly, though, ZVP is the one that I like the least. I would rather play Zerg, I'd rather face Terran, either one, before facing Protoss. Is that a regularly timed scout? I think so. No? Yeah, that's pretty regular. I was going to say it seemed a little early, but it looks like it was a pylon scout. Pylon positioning says Forge Fast Expand will be the order of the day. The Protoss pieces, though, they give me so much trouble. The case is with Zerg that against either of the other two races, Terran or Protoss, it's generally very difficult to take cost-effective engagements, and that case is more true with Protoss than anywhere else. And that is what I have the most trouble with. Protoss builds, their defense is uncrackable, their offense is nigh on unstoppable. So recently I looked at some professional matches to get a little inspiration for what I should be doing in this matchup, and I saw a lot of Liquid Zergs doing this really clever muta transition that catches Protoss off guard. So I kind of adopted that, and I've been using it for a while. See a 14 pool coming out here. Hatchery's not going down yet. Probe is almost certainly going to stop that. He's on patrol pattern, so it's possible I could sneak it out, but it normally doesn't work, so a lot of times I don't even try. I've been using this clever little muta switch build, though. Ooh, Nexus before Forge. That's safe. It's a big map. He can still get his cannon out. Or Forge and cannon, I should say. Before these lings that are building right now will get there. You can see the Forge builds pretty quick, 45 seconds. I've been using this muta transition build for a while now, and I meet with success fairly often. I don't know, it feels 50-50 though. Here in the very recent past, I've been encountering some Protoss who are ready for it. I don't know if they're just scouting better and they're seeing my Spire timing before the mutas are even on the map, or if they're just anticipating the transition because it's become very popular in the metagame. And I think Mutalisks in ZVP has become very popular in the metagame. I think a lot of Zergs are doing it right now. So a lot of Protoss are either figuring out real well how to scout for it, or they're just assuming. They're blind countering it. I'm going to focus on my build for the most part once this game gets going, though, because I don't use the Mutalisks in this game. I try to do something a little different, and it's kind of whimsical. I kind of just wing it in this game. It's not really something I went into this game planning on doing. I went into the game planning on not using Mutalisks, and some other things ended up happening, and I kind of like the way some of it went. So I think I want to garner inspiration from myself now instead of from a pro player. And I want to take a look at the build that I did, and then I want to think about how I can make it better. Think about what other things need to happen. There's a lot of things that I didn't do that would support the build really well. One gas, it's kind of interesting. A lot of times in ZVP you'll see Zergs wait till I guess about now, maybe a little later, and then do 2 gas at once. Just doing 1 gas either indicates that I want to do a ling composition or that I want to get a lot more queens out still. Queens and drones. Queens and drones. I am building queens from a few hatcheries. I've got 2 out right now, and I'm building 2 more, so I'm going at least 1 over what I need to inject on all of these hatcheries. I think that's probably going to be a staple of the build, and honestly I should in my own time, come back and look at the early stages of this a lot more closely and see if there's anything I can do to get those queens out. I don't know necessarily faster, but I think I might be able to do it smoother and maybe go up to 6 queens. Right now it looks like I'm going to go to 4. We'll see if I stop there. I do have the 4 queens out. I'm going to go ahead and use that extra one to begin the creep spread, which I have already started from that second queen that came out of my main. So it looks like my first 100 gas went to Ling speed. This is kind of a defensive play. A lot of times you'll see Protoss pressure that looks just like this. A couple zealots, a stalker, a mothership core. This can be a real pain in the butt to hold off with, well, with Zerglings in general, honestly. Even one zealot, but especially with 2. Zerglings, it's kind of costly to deal with this push with Zerglings, especially with the mothership core picking away at them the whole time. Queens, though, it's a different story. It is not so difficult to defend this push with queens. I've got 4 of them already. I'm not building any more yet, but you can see that the micro is going in my favor. I haven't lost anything yet, except for a lot of hit points on queens. I'm very close to taking out his mothership core. I did kill 1 zealot. Ooh, another zealot. Oh, he got a drone. It looks like he's only going to get the 1, which is good. But 1 drone is costly enough. And that's going to come out to losing 1 drone for 2 zealots. So he loses 200 minerals. I lose 50 minerals. Now, given that is 50 minerals that I would have liked to keep to garner more and more minerals. But still, overall, it's a decent trade. Some overlords in decent positions. It's a pretty low gateway count. 4 gateways and a robo. And it looks like, given those just finished warping in, the robo probably came out before those other 3. And there is the 3rd. All of this is very quick. This is a very heavily economic-focused build from the Protoss. This is a wide open base, too. Since I got Ling speed, if I were to spot this soon, I don't know if I have or not. I haven't yet. I came up here and had a Zergling die on the watchtower. He knows, taking this 3rd, it's paramount that he keep that watchtower. That would make it really easy for me to scout that he's got the 3rd. But given that I got Ling speed early, with the right Ling count, I could put a lot of pressure on this. The Protoss doesn't have a whole lot of production capacity right now. He doesn't have near the production capacity that I do with 3 hatches and larva injects. So I could really be investing in Zerglings right now, but it doesn't look like I'm choosing to do that. I'm getting my drone count up still, and I'm not quite at saturation. As a matter of fact, both of those are a little low on minerals. And this one is way over. Hope to see some of those transition pretty soon. And it looks like I'm going to go for a Roach style. As of right now, this kind of looks like not necessarily the Roach Max build, because I think I'm already beyond that in drones. 65, that's about right. It doesn't necessarily look like the Roach Max build, but it's definitely Roach-centric. Protoss is going to poke in. Oh, I see him. Oh, we have a follow. Oh, we have a queen surround. Observer goes down. He didn't see much. He got stopped right out here in front of the natural. If I was doing a muted transition, I've got the gas availability. It would be really easy for me to get enough gas to make that transition happen. Doesn't look like that's what I'm going for, though. And I said Roach-centric. That's a large pack of Zerglings. I like not going all 1 unit. I like having Zerglings in the mix, but given that I'm getting the Roach upgrades, this might be a little bit of a mistake from me. Looks like he does see the pack of Zerglings, and right there I see the 3rd. So I've just now become aware of the 3rd. That's way late. I should have become aware of that 3rd a lot earlier. I'm going to see what I can do for the dance. I'm not sure I can do a whole lot here. He puts the photon overcharge on that Nexus. Oh, I'm going to go in for it. He doesn't have a lot of army here, but he has a lot of sentries. It looks like I'm focusing the sentries. He took the Zerglings out quick, though, and he's got enough mortals. He will definitely clean this up. To a rather large detriment to my forces. That was pretty close. Sentries are expensive, and they die really easily. Huh, that's interesting. Hitting from the high ground. That's interesting that the photon overcharge just barely goes to that low ground. It doesn't quite reach the high. Overall, though, that came out very close to even. And, a lot more roaches, I wonder. I've got a good-sized army again. If I backed that up with Zerglings, I think I could really do some nasty stuff to this, but he's just starting to really get going on his warp ins. I'm guessing that he added gateways. Oh yeah, that's right, he added these 3 gateways, so he's up to 7 gates in a robo. That's some decent production. That's not going to hold him off on 3 bases. He'll either be looking to tech or add even more gateways. But it looks like right now his plan is to push out. He has 1-1. I also have 1-1. It looks like he's got 2 armor on the way. I have 2-2 on the way, armor and ranged damage. And I've whipped out a couple hatcheries, but these are ill-fated. I'm not in position to defend that, especially with the mortals in the mix. There's no way that's going to stay up. I might be able to defend this one. Let's see, what are my plans here? I'm moving to the side with roaches, and I'm producing a lot of Zerglings. Now, he does have the Zealots in the mix. My Zerglings don't have 1 damage, but they do have 1 armor, so Zerglings would be really effective against this composition right up until 1 Colossi shows up. 1 Colossi shows up, it is now invalid for me to have any number of Zerglings. Can you tell I'm a little biased? Can you tell I've had some frustrations in this matchup? 1 Colossi, doesn't matter where my Zerglings are on his army, they're going to line up in little lines around his army, and the Colossi is going to roast tons of them. Let's just watch these kills. Let's watch how quickly Zerglings evaporate. And actually, it's not even the Colossi getting the kills, but still, those Zerglings did nothing. They took some shields off a few Stalkers. So with that Colossi, I can't defend this either, especially given how much I invested in Zerglings. I'm going to back off my 4th base even. Now, he's held me to 3 bases. He's on 3 bases, getting his 4th up. Actually, his 4th is there. His 4th is finished. So he loves the position he's in. He's going to back off. Very smart move. And I just got out the hive, so yeah, even smarter move. I'm getting Vipers. Vipers with my pack of roaches. Let's take a look at this army count. He is way above me. He's ahead of me in food. He's ahead of me in cost of the army. I am barely ahead of him in upgrades, but with the technology he's got seeded into his army, it's going to make my units look silly no matter the upgrades. Looks like I'm going to try to retake these bases. It looks like I'm going for another base on the other side as well. Kind of like splitting my expansions the 2 different ways. Oh, and the Vipers consume their energy from my other structures. Took a little off the hive, little off the gas, little off the infestation pit and the evolution chamber. Looks like I'm setting up a flank. He still didn't have defenses out here at this base. Oh, how smart. I bet he knows that I've got the hive tech out, or that I'm getting close to it at least. He's added 3 Stargates. My God. And he is hitting the Void Ray count heavy. He's only got 2 Colossi in the mix, but that's all you need, really. Actually, I'm sorry, there are 3 Colossi there. He just picked one up in the Warp Prism, so don't be fooled. There are 3 there. 3 will deal with X number of Zerglings, as many as I have. 3 will also do a lot of damage to roaches. We'll deal with X number of Hydralisks, so long as the force fields or other content is involved. It looks like he's pushing up the other side of the map. This is cool. This kind of defends this base, except that I already got the counterattack in. So I'm going to kill a couple probes there and then focus on that Nexus. He is going to push in my other flank. And I have started to get out swarm hosts as well. And I don't have a lot of swarm hosts yet. The count is very small. It is only 6. And I also have Ultralisk Tech. I'm getting their chitinous plating. I don't have the Ultralisks themselves yet. Let's see what I can do with this army. His army still looks infinitely better than mine. The cost is enormous over mine. The loss is hugely in his favor. Some Blinding Cloud to start with. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. There's a lot not dying. Oh, I do some abducts, but I didn't abduct them into my army. My army's getting decimated. Everything here is falling so fast, but you know what? I see a complete and utter lack of observer. These swarm hosts, I don't even know that I can click on one right now. Yeah, there we go. They've taken a little bit of AoE damage just by proximity of the Colossi shooting at other things. But other than that, they haven't taken any damage, and there the Locusts are. The Colossi go down. All of a sudden, his army is in a little bit of trouble. The Immortals, they look like they're going to bite the dust, and he knows he's got to get out. That was huge damage, though. It looks like some stuff died up here. He even sent a few units that way. Took out my 3rd base, though. I do have a 4th up, which is now my new 3rd. I'm going to be able to continuously mine. But not pretty. Not pretty hiccup in my economy. It's going to set my injects on a tilt. It's going to be difficult for me to keep things alive. I did take out his 4th Nexus, which is very beneficial. If that didn't happen, if he had consistent gas mining happening here, he'd be able to easily bowl me over. We see the food count has actually swung into my favor with a lot of swarm hosts that I just produced. I've got an army here that it's pretty good against the ground, especially with the ability to abduct Colossi, but absolutely abysmal against the air. I have no means to fight this Void Ray count. The Void Ray count isn't huge yet, but with 3 at a time, he's at 8, going up to 11. And he's just going to flow on from there with ease. I'm going to start laying siege to his third base, but he's just going to come right over here. He does have an observer in the mix now, and it looks like he's got observer speed for it even. Actually, I don't know that that has observer speed. Oh, can I take it out though? No, it started to take some damage, but it's not going to be enough. Some storms on my swarm hosts even. His Void Ray count is too much. I have nothing to fight the Void Ray count. There are a couple queens here, but that is not enough. I bowled him over on the ground, but the Void Rays are way too much. And he remains. He sustains all the Void Ray count. Looking at the units tab up there, he has a worker lead on me now too. And here he comes for the rest of my swarm hosts. It looks like I'm wise to it. I'm going to try to bail out with him, which is good. And it also looks like I'm trying to make a switch. The Hydralisk Din. Oh, if I would have kept that rule of thumb from the other match, those pro matches I was looking at where they were doing the Muta switch, they always got a Hydralisk Din. Red, at least. Every game. Even if he didn't build any Hydralisks, he got the Hydralisk Din in the mid-game when he started like 2-2, right around the same time. Looks like I'm even whipping out some Desperation Spore Crawlers here. That's not good because I was already behind on the drone count. He doesn't have a lot of Void Rays here, but it is enough. Yeah, it's enough to do about whatever he wants to whichever base. And he is investing just now in that air upgrade because he's seeing how effective these Void Rays are. I've got a decent swarm host count, and I'm getting a decent queen count actually too. 5. That's not nearly enough to deal with these Void Rays, but that is enough to support the swarm host to some degree. Oh, the drones. Oh, that's a huge pack of my drones. That is like nearly half of my drones right now. The income tab, yeah, he's way beyond me. I'm getting some decent little Zergling counterattacks in again, but he's able to deal with it without even really occupying his Void Rays. These could be running through my base right now, Steel. Steel? Void Rays made of iron and steel? Impossible to defeat. The food count's evened out. I'm getting Ultralisks. I'm also getting Hydralisks. Ultralisks will help ensure that the ground forces stay in my favor. Oh, he's keeping High Templar in the mix. I hate to see when a Protoss player is playing good, composing well. He's got a lot of Void Rays. Man, if I could find the counter to him, it would be very damaging to him. Looks like I'm going to reposition to put favor on my new 4th base. I do have my 3rd back up. The gas isn't there, but I'm a little high on gas, honestly. It's the minerals that I need that I'm low on. Some Ultras in the mix, some Hydras. This still isn't very many Hydras. They do have 3-3 though. 3-3 Hydras against totally unupgraded Void Rays with some Queens in the mix. And Queen's able to do some transfusions. This might be enough to hold him off. I don't know. Oh, the Swarm Hosts, they're getting a little advanced. Oh, if I could take out this 3rd, that would put him back to, well, he's running out in the natural, so back down to almost 1 base. Oh, man, and all of a sudden, my army is looking really threatening. He still has such a huge Void Ray count that his overall supply and army cost is still above mine, and he did just finish +1 weapons. I don't have a lot of Hydralisks out here still. Oh, especially with storms in the mix. If he engages with this altogether, I don't see any way that I can beat this crazy high Void Ray count. He's keeping a couple observers in the mix too, so it's going to be incredibly difficult for me to snipe them out and allow the swarm hosts to live indefinitely. Also keeping a warp prism with him so he can warp in on the go. Oh, we see transfusions on the Ultras. I'm coming in. I'm fully committing here. It looks like I'm smashing the ground yet again, but my Hydralisks are already gone. The Queens are following suit. I didn't even touch those Void Rays. My God, the skill rays are too great. I'm going to sacrifice the Ultralisks in hope of taking a base. And it looks like I'm going to get it. The Ultralisks aren't going to live very long past that, though. And now, oh, moving up with the Swarm Hosts? I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea. Oh, the Void Rays are coming back in. He's got observers with the Void Rays. Oh, the Swarm Hosts, there's no way they're getting out. They are sacrificed. Can we take out any High Templar here? That would be really great. I would love to see some High Templar. Losing life. Nope. Didn't take out a thing. He's doubling me up on supply. Looks like I'm still building Hydras and some Queens. I'm just now getting Hydra upgrades. God, if I would have whipped this Hydralisk den out in the mid-game, I probably could have seeded my upgrades in a little bit easier. And again, it's the money that's blocking me off. I'm totally fine on gas. I'm still mining gas from here. I've still got one geyser in my main that's allowing me to mine gas. The mineral income, though, is not great. And oh my. Oh, the storms. He's got so many High Templar. He has so many storms at his beck and call. He can just whip them out wherever. He doesn't have great upgrades, though. I still do have 3-3. He knows he's got too big of an army, though. He knows I can't engage it. I'm going to try. Oh, and he's even got a Colossi in the mix. So easy for him to switch right back over to just one little piece of tech, and all of a sudden my Hydralisks are going to get wiped out. He's going to mop the floor with them. The storms are pretty good against Hydralisks anyway. Looks like I'm trying to spread out. I want to go for a concave. I know I need it if I'm going to try to face these storms, but the mountain is just too great to climb. There's so much. I don't even know where those Zerglings are going. And I know that's it. It's the end. It's the GG. Protoss wins again. Oh, and before we even see the score screen, look at this match history. I am mad, bro. Oh, God, the losses. Especially the last couple days. Oof. Oof, not cool. That leads me to something else I've noticed as of late. Playing Zerg, I noticed myself not GGing a lot. I GG'd every game. I just typed it in as a courtesy. It's just like a formality. Just throw it out to them. No need to be a douche, right? I have not been GGing lately because I just leave matches pissed off. Not having fun. When I win, it's a great feeling because it's a culmination of those losses with me saying, but this time I did it, yeah! Even with the feeling of OP, I did it. Resource collection rate, that third, that was a really fast third from him. It looks like I didn't saturate my third very quick or very thoroughly, and that's dangerous. He got that third out and saturated it. I was able to... I don't actually know why this valied so far. That wasn't any of my little Zergling counterattacks. They didn't cause that. That must have been like his main base running out. Yeah, I guess it was. Maybe a Zergling counterattack happened right about the same time, and it they combined into one great valley. Army value as a result of his fast third was just ahead of me. He's just over. He just beat me out. I'm surprised I was able to hold out as long as I could. I've been thinking, though, if there's a better way to get to swarm hosts quicker, and I think honestly the Hydralisk is the answer, but you got to be really careful because if you invest in Hydralisks and he goes fast Colossi, he can just push and kill you. If you don't get to the hive very quickly and get Vipers out, when you're investing as heavily as I just did in Roach Hydra, then you'll just die to the Protoss pushes. The Protoss army is just too strong against Zerg mid-game tech. You need the Viper Hive tech to be able to deal with Colossi, and I don't know. It's the combination of all these things. It's having Hydralisks in the mix, but not investing in them so much that it slows down your Hive tech, and it's getting Vipers out before a Colossi push comes. And then once the Vipers and Hydras are out, I think then the Swarm Hosts can become really powerful. I think that's when they can be a great tool to just slowly win fights. Anyway. Ideas, inspirations for the future for me. I think I'm going to be trying to focus more on Hive tech and focus more on swarm hosts once my Hive tech is established than I am this Mutalisk switch. Of course, I think I'm going to try to develop some rules of thumb for situations that make the Mutalisk switch work well, and still try to identify them and do it when I think it'll work. But generally speaking, I don't think that is a solid going into every game plan. You know, I don't think that's the best thing to have in mind right as I go in. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll stop babbling now. Now that the action's over, I'll let you get on with your lives. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.